I'm content creator Cori Walmsley. I empower women entrepreneurs by sharing book writing and publishing solutions on my show, Page Turner's Studio with Hello and welcome to another episode of Page Turner Studio with Cori. I'm your host, Cori Walmsley. I'm CEO of Aurora Coriolis Publishing. I'm also a writing coach, book editor, and author of 10 books. So you're in the right spot if you want to hear about how to be heart-centered and productive with Executive Coach Rachel Madorsky. And I'm very excited to have her on. I checked out her book and it looks so amazing. So I'm really excited to talk about that and all the wonderful things she's going to share with you. But first, before we get started, I wanted to show you my new book. This is The Treasures We Seek. It just came out in November of 2023. So make sure you hop on Amazon and grab a copy of this. This is wonderful reading over cozy Christmas break for you. And we also have Aurora Coriolis's brand new journals. These have artwork done by me. These are my original paintings and we've turned them into journals. So you can grab those at the link below. These 200-page journals, you can easily throw these in your car, in your purse. If you have big enough pockets, congratulations, you can throw a journal in there. So make sure you have that with you so you can write wherever you are. So I'm going to bring our guest on. This is Rachel Madorsky. Let me introduce you to her. She's a psychotherapist, executive coach, speaker, and best-selling author. Down to earth and passionate about supporting women, Rachel's work is centered around helping powerful women give themselves everything they ever wanted in life. And I think that is an amazing mission statement. So welcome, Rachel.
Cori. Hi,
Hey.
Cori. Thank you so much for having me. It's so great to be here with you.
Yeah, thank you for being on. I'm really excited to talk about your book and everything else. So let's kick it off by talking about your book. Can you show us your book and tell us a little bit about it?
I'd be happy to. This is the book. It's called How to Love Yourself in Less Than a Week and also for the rest of your life.
No.
It's a children's book for adults. And one of my greatest lessons in life, I'm a student as much as I am a teacher, is this concept of loving yourself. And I think we all have this idea, yeah, it's a good idea to love yourself, but no one actually shows us how. How do we do that? So I wanted to write a guide that was loving and down to earth and tangible and easy and lighthearted so that we could really live our lives from a place of love.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's something that, as a mom, I have 2 little kids, and it's something that I ask them every once in a while, like, "How do you feel about yourself? Do you love yourself?" And I don't think that's something anyone ever asked me as I was growing up. So I think that's really important. I love that, we're able to have conversations about this. Why was it important to you to get this out?
I believe so deeply that we're all connected. And I think there's a couple of things. One is I wanted to break this rule. I feel especially for women, where there's so much messaging about be generous and give. And not that there's anything wrong with that. Of course, be generous and give. My problem with it is that it presupposes that we aren't already generous and giving, that our natural state isn't to be generous and giving. And I think for women, especially, I want to show you that actually the way it works, the big secret is this. When you put yourself first and you ask yourself, what would I most love in this day, in this meeting, in my life, and work from there, what you give generously comes so much more naturally, and we give from the overflow, not from sacrifice. And
Mhm.
when we give from overflow, the quality of what we give is so much higher and better than coming from hustle or stress or have tos. And the last thing I want to quickly say about that is I also want women to make a lot of money. And one of my favorite things to do is help women feel like $1 million while they make $1 million. And I believe that love is at the center of that path.
I love that, and I couldn't agree more. I feel like we have to have that awareness because if we don't, there's this little voice inside that's going, "Hey, what about me?" And you start kind of resenting the giving that you're doing, and so we have to feel good about, in here first before we're able to fill other people's cups, and I love that. And I did want to mention too, Rachel mentioned before the show that her book has been chosen by Ellen DeGeneres for the Be Kind box. How did that happen?
It's kind of a long story, and I'll try to share the shortest version possible, but also the truest version. So, months ago, Ellen's team reached out to my publisher because they wanted to include my book with something. And I really had to think about it because it wasn't an exact right fit for me. And I told my publisher, please tell Ellen and her team, I love her so much, and I am so honored, and this just isn't the right thing for me, and I would love if she would consider my book for something else. And my publisher, so wonderful, said to me, we'll absolutely do that, and I just want you to know, Rachel, that people wait their whole lives to be on lists like this, and you're never going to get asked for anything else by her. This is like getting struck by lightning. That would be getting struck by lightning twice.
Yeah.
And then a few months later, they contacted us and chose my book. And I
Okay.
share that because I really want to encourage people to trust themselves. Even to me, that's a part of the self love, is to really listen to yourself no matter what. And then I'm beyond honored and excited for the book to be included now.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I wanted to share Rachel's impactful page turner share. The more I commit to giving myself everything I ever wanted now, the more integrity and power I have available to me to help other women do the same. Our love, joy, and ease create more money, not the struggle. Tell me how you discovered this.
Years ago, when I was kind of turning the page into how I really wanted my coaching business to be, I had this idea. It was just an idea. And the idea was this: what if giving myself everything I want right now, not when I work harder, when I hit a certain income level, not putting it off for a goal, but actually giving myself all the things that I think I would give myself once I was there. If I did that now, could that possibly be the path to there? That was my question to myself. And I decided I wanted to see, is it possible? Is it possible to give all those things to yourself now as a way to get there? And it has been. And I am so grateful for all the women who want to play along and try that for themselves as well.
That's really cool. And I think that kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier. Like you have to be happy and satisfied and love yourself in here to be able to do that for everyone that you're serving too.
Yes. And I think, we do a lot of teaching and speaking, but really, even, and you know this as a mom, that really what people receive from us is how we're being, just the example that we're setting.
Mhm.
And so I actually consider it a part of my own integrity is to have a good life behind the scenes, not just, on social media or any place else. It's important to have a good life on the inside,
Yeah.
and then for sure it'll be good on the outside.
I love that. That's a great lesson. So I want to share Rachel's being a page turner tip, if I could talk. Making it fun for you is the most productive thing you can do, and I love that it rhymes. And pleasing yourself and following your own true yes will be your greatest, most valuable contribution. How did this work for you when you were working on your book?
This book I wrote, it was so easy to write the book. I feel like it's almost not okay to say that. We're supposed to say it was really hard, but really what we're supposed to say, I believe, is whatever is real. And so for me, writing this book was pure pleasure. There's lots of doodles in it. They're messy. Um, and my fear was I loved doing it so much and it was so easy. And the very first publisher I spoke to was absolute hell yes. I mean, like there was so much ease. I was afraid that it wouldn't be successful because we so often conflate
Mhm.
working hard with deservability or working hard with getting the big win. And so for me, what I got to play with and experiment with is actually what happens if the value we have is just in how valuable it is or how delightful it is and not in how hard it is.
That's perfect. Yeah, what I was thinking was it sounds like you were aligned. And it sounds like every single piece there was aligned. And I believe that writing a book can be easy. I've written 10 books myself, and it gets easier and easier and easier because it feels aligned. And once you have everything aligned, it falls into place. And I love that, you spoke to a publisher that just worked. And I agree with you. I think that we do believe that everything has to be hard, but instead of focusing on like it has to be hard for us to win, almost like we're fighting with things, I think that we need to shift into it has to be aligned. And I know that's something I remind myself all the time too. So thank you.
Absolutely. I will say quickly two things. One is one of the tips, and this is in the book too, is wherever you can, press the easy button. Stop um, making our self-worth be attached to how difficult something is, and just make it easy and fun for you. And the other thing I want to say is it's not that there weren't some significant bumps in the road in the journey of this book. There were. But one of my takeaways for that I'd love to share is I think there's a way when things don't go well that we actually take it personally. And to practice not taking it personally and keep asking questions like, what's the most loving thing I can do for myself now? Including like now, if I'm in this crunchy situation.
Mhm.
And I I promise asking that question and listening to your answer and saying yes to yourself will always lead you to the next success, the next win, the next good feeling.
Yeah, that was a great tip. Thank you for sharing that one. So I wanted to talk about the turning the page with Cori tip. When we understand that writing a book is about sharing the love we have for a certain topic and spreading that love throughout the world, it makes the process so much easier. And I think that goes back to that alignment piece. Is that kind of what you felt when you were doing your book?
Yeah, 100%. Again, I think it goes back to this sort of cultural norm about things being hard.
Mhm.
What if, I love the word you're using, alignment,
Mm.
um, what we love. I mean, our actual genius, our actual truest gifts come from the place of joy,
Mhm.
come from love. And the more we live our life or be a state of being that has us feeling loving and joyful, the more everything else follows, including the money, the relationships, and the good feeling, the good life that we all crave.
Yes. I feel like this is the anti-hustle episode.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to share the make an impact tip with Corey. If writing feels like drudgery, stop. Again, this you're not in alignment. It needs to feel good so it can flow. So ensure that you are in a good headspace and you want to write about what you're writing. Have you ever worked on anything where you were just like, oh my God, I hate doing this. I don't want to write about this. And you have to kind of shift out of that headspace or you have to change what you're writing about. Have you experienced that?
Yes, there was a point, and this might sound so simple, but there was a point in the book where I was like, I can't think of any more doodles or pictures. These are like deep concepts. And I almost decided, I considered not having the drawings in the book for a minute because it felt hard. And I don't believe anything has to be hard. So
Yeah.
I was at this crossroad and I just got really quiet and I just sort of received this message that was, in this case, you could do the hard thing.
Yeah.
Once in a while, do the hard thing. And I pushed through, and there was so much joy. And the other tip I'll offer about that is anytime I'm in a place where I'm hating something or it's hard, I just think about anything else. Go play with the dog, go look at a tree, anything that brings neutrality or joy will shift us right out of that. We don't have to sit in any difficulty for more than a minute.
Yeah. I love that. That's something that I often share with clients is, if you feel like this is a tough piece, make sure you step out of it. You don't have to stay stuck in there, even if it's a tough story to share. And it's just going to be tough no matter what I do to write this. I could be, throwing glitter all over the place and playing happy music while I'm writing it, and it's still going to be tough. Make sure that you pull yourself back out and go in when you're ready again and pull yourself out and then go back in again. And that way, you are staying in that state of joy more, and that helps you come from a place of joy and love and be able to send that back out into the world. Yeah.
100%, and then celebrate yourself when you complete it.
Yes,
Get the chocolate, put the dance music on, take a break. The more we celebrate our wins, the more wins we have to celebrate.
absolutely. And I think that's the perfect idea to wrap up with. So thank you so much, Rachel, for being on. I loved everything that you got to share with us today.
Thank you, Cori. Thanks so much. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to send Rachel back to the green room, and we're going to wrap up. So that was another episode of Page Turner Studio with Cori, and we learned so much about how to share with heart and how to be, productive while also being heart-centered. So join me next week and every other week on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Central, or 10 a.m. Eastern Time, where I'll be featuring another guest. And you have a Page Turner's Day. You can learn more about my services and products at auroracoriolispublishing.com. Make sure to join me every week on the SWE Media Network YouTube channel and wherever you listen to podcasts.